Welcome to the Legacy of Light podcast, where we channel messages from the higher realms, taking you on adventures into the higher realm history of this planet, to golden ages, advanced civilizations, and sharing messages and news to support you on your ascension path. I'm Gabriela Kowalski, and
I'm Polina Light. We are so delighted to be taking you on a journey of embodying your own divinity, exploring your beautiful, magnificent, infinite heart, and connecting deeper to your own beautiful eternal nature.
Welcome to another episode of
Legacy of Light.
Yay! Oh my goodness, beautiful souls tuning in. Today we have a special transmission for you, going deep into truly receiving ascension, the gift of ascension in this divine life. And as we transmit this, it's December 2023, and humanity is right bang smack in the middle of one of the most powerful ascension gateways, that actually the most powerful ascension gateway that we have experienced up until now. And it's the first of many others to come, which is wonderful to know. And there are souls all over the planet right now who are kind of holding on for dear life as they travel on the ride of this beautiful gateway. And they're like, woo, in a theme park of ascension. So we felt to share with you the deeper codes to activate and to stabilize into your even higher paths and timelines of ascension, to be able to really receive ascension with a joyful heart, and to have it become more magical, more beautiful than it ever has before. Right now, what's available is extraordinary. And yet at the same time, even if you're listening to this transmission months into the future or years into the future, the message of this transmission is relevant through all the different timelines, through all the different slices of time, because we want to share with you deeply what ascension truly is, and share with you some of our most powerful tips, what we co-create with in order to have the most delicious ascension possible. So take it away, Malinka. What is ascension?
Hey, thank you. Beautiful souls, please know that what we are experiencing right now is a part of our unified collective journey. And whatever you are experiencing individually is a part of your sovereign, unique journey. And it is a reflection. It is a manifestation of internal subjective universe of yours. And ascension and enlightenment walk side by side. Enlightenment, ascension, all those processes in the core essence of it means merging with soul light. Our soul is made of infinite, not even billions, but infinite amounts of photons, particles of light that are intelligent and internal. They have codes and organic blueprint of source creative intelligence, the one unified field of divine mother, divine father, in their sacred marriage perfection, in their union. So this is what we have within us. We are made of the essence of pure light. And ascension is taking your embodied into this physical vessel, since we do have them, embodying the light within us, taking awareness that's encoded, imprinted within this physical vessel to the radiant light of our own soul. And enlightenment is the same thing. It's merging, walking, and truly fusing every fiber of our being with the radiance of our soul light. And this process is always individual. Yes, we do have similarities. Yes, we are part of one unified field. Yet we are sovereign, and we have uniquenesses that can never be duplicated, replicated, cloned, or copied, So knowing that whatever you are experiencing is unique to you, and effects of this journey that you are having as your environments that you are finding yourself in, co-creation with different beings, internal processes that are rising from within. It is part of your own universe. And there is a divine source, intelligent light within you that is orchestrating all of that. So please know that during these cycles of ascension, when we are transitioning through infinite portals at the same time simultaneously, different aspects of our consciousness receiving massive and massive upgrades, different aspects of our infinite eternal being, they are taking through the process of preparation, purification, harmonization, hydration, and so on. Our unified field of each individual being, different versions of us, are receiving upgrades simultaneously. So can you imagine that you are this beautiful being that exists in every single timeline, in every realm, in every dimension, in every origin within this galaxy and beyond, that you are operating as one living, breathing intelligence. And when your soul is receiving codes of ascension, when the crystalline DNA of your being is being activated, different versions of you are experiencing so much. And when we are walking, living this journey as humans here, we may be experiencing this multidimensional process as losing sense of connection to our external reality, or having misalignment understanding what is it exactly this feeling that I'm experiencing related to, why is it, so on. So beautiful one, please know that your journey of ascension is unique. Your journey of merging your universe with your internal light is what is happening now. And during these portals, we are receiving accelerated codes of activation of our own divine genome.
So beautiful. You know, it's such a beautiful gift to be alive at this time and point, and yet at the same time, it does support us to know and understand what's actually happening. And as we are walking our own beautiful individual paths of ascension, we are all embodying more and more and more of our soul essence frequency. And so what that means though is we are taking our physical body with us to a higher plane of existence. There's been previous civilizations that have ascended out of their bodies, meaning that, you know, they sought enlightenment. They initiated within them the memory of light, of vast universal wisdom and knowledge, holding and harnessing the frequencies of pure divine love, raising their frequencies, and then letting go of their physical bodies to exist as non-physical, beautiful light. Shambhala is one particular place where, you know, this was the occurrence. They invested, it was like 21 generations it took the Shambhalans to get to a point where they were ready to ascend, to let go of their physical bodies and to exist as beautiful light frequency. And the Shambhalans are so present right now, supporting us. They're part of this, you know, they're part of our beautiful field of existence. They just don't live inside of the physical realm like we do. Yet from the non-physical realm, they are guiding and supporting us beautifully. And yet one thing, that's important for us to know is that we're actually taking our physical bodies with us, which means that we're not just having a conscious ascension, we're having a conscious and physical ascension. We're creating an alternate plane of existence that's physical, a physical playground to play in a higher frequency configuration. And get this, now Shambhalans, just take a moment to get that 21 generations it took. The Shambhalans worked really closely with Green Tara, and they were receiving codes. Every generation received codes, upgrades. Then the next generation that was born with the avatar that already had the codes and upgrades from the previous generation. And then that generation then received additional codes and templates and upgrades. And of course they had their babies, and their babies were carrying there was a full evolution happening at the avatar level. Each avatar was coming in with new codes, new templates. Now, please know this is actually happening on our planet right now. Each generation that's birthing is also doing the same thing. Yet, here's the next piece. My gosh, many of us, if you're listening to this podcast, there's a high probability that you signed up to take that ascension journey in one lifetime. One lifetime. So here we have the Shimbalans who didn't even take their physical bodies with them, who did it in 21 generations. And we said, okay, I'm going to do that, plus take my body with me, and I'm going to do it in one lifetime. And I share this Shimbalan piece because many of us, that are taking these accelerated journeys, that are on an accelerated ascension path right now, have lifetimes, alternate parallel lifetimes in Shambhala. We are interconnected to other versions of ourselves in Shambhala, and we are streaming. We're literally co-creating with those versions that are streaming into this version of us and having this version of us be able to take this shift. Not to mention lifetimes in ancient Egypt, in Lemuria, in Atlantis, in Maya, in other advanced civilizations. The reason we exist, we could perceive them as past lives, yet the truth is there is no past and future in the infinite now. Once you exit the third dimensional construct of time and start to shift beyond this, you really get that all time exists now, that we don't have past lives, we have alternate parallel lives, that the Shimbalan, Lemurian, Atlantean, Mayan, Mesopotamian, like all the different lifetimes are happening now. And the reason they're happening now is because we are in a network consciousness, meaning that us is in this, consciousness stream is networked into us within these other configurations, that are all ascending, and the codes from all of those ascending lifetimes are then coming into this one for this one to be able to take a greater ascension journey than we have known before, another adventure, another way, another path of ascension that's so delicious, and having our beautiful physical bodies come with us. Now, what that means though is that we are undergoing a tremendous renovation. I don't know if anyone here listening has ever renovated a house before, but my parents purchased their dream home up in the mountains, and with the desire to renovate it and turn it into, well, actually they purchased what could be their dream home once they renovated it. And we all moved in, and with great excitement, I was like, I think 19 or 20 at the time, I'm not sure. And we moved in, and every single project, every project that we set out to do took 2 to 3 to 4 times longer than expected. It was a lot of work, repainting all the balustrades, whatever they're called, around the balconies. There was these fence, whatever they're called. Every project, and having people come in and do the work, and to transform something fully, to fully restructure it, is a process. And many people right now in their ascension journey, require to fully receive and drop in and accept that they are undergoing a renovation. And once they come into the joy of this, and by the way, in fairness, I still remember with my parents, there was times where we were not as joyful halfway through the renovation because there's crap everywhere. You come out to the kitchen, and on your way there, all the carpets have just been pulled up, and so no one's come to pick them up yet. So all the old carpets are pushed up against the wall. You got to find your way around them, and there's all these different pathways to get to the kitchen now. And this is part of what happens, yet oh my gosh, at the end, once the floorboards had been polished, once the walls had been painted, once the new fireplace went in, oh, wow. This was a home in the mountains, overlooking, at the top of a mountain, overlooking such a beautiful, expanse of trees. And there came a time where we all sat there with our cup of tea on the balcony. Everything was painted, everything was done, and we could enjoy the beautiful view and the birds chirping. And it was worth it. It was so worth it. And so is this. And at the same time, how it looks for us when we're renovating ourselves is that there is an emotional field. So our emotional landscape is getting renovated. And what that means is that we are going from a template or a way of co-creating with our emotions that's very unconscious, and often not even knowing if our emotions have been fabricated by our mind or if they're our own, to creating and cultivating such a deep, discerning relationship with our emotional field that we know with great precision, what is what, where it's coming from, and then we can form and cultivate and create emotional frequency to create realities, coming into a place where the relationship within our emotional world is masterful. And then our emotional field can't hijack us on all sorts of adventures that we're actually not too excited to go on. We're also undergoing a huge renovation mentally. Our mind is going through such a huge, huge transformation. For such a long time on this planet, the mind has been the primary leader of the consciousness. And we are now returning to a place where we're remembering that our mind is actually a tool. And our heart consciousness gives us access to our true libraries, soul libraries of consciousness. We are initiating, activating, opening up more and more and more and more and more of our heart consciousness. And the mind is taking a secondary role. The heart is coming in as a leader. So our consciousness is working through and streaming through the heart field, and the mind is then able to co-create with the heart as a tool. This has us come into more sovereignty, and it means that our mind can't take us on adventures that we don't wish to go on, that we get to have our heart recode the programming of our mind. Our mind is this amazing supercomputer, and for the most part, so many people on the planet have been behind their computer thinking it's them, and it's not. And so this in itself, coming to a place where the mind gets to be free, the mind's no longer controlling, trying to, all running at a, mind ascension also has us not co-creating with fear and survival anymore. As the mind ascends, it stops co-creating with fear and survival, and it shifts. It's like it upgrades, it turns, and then its primary purpose is creation, possibility, exploration. And ultimately, as I said, we are shifting physically. Our physical vessels are transforming right before our eyes. Every cell, every atom, every organ. And this is a big process because there are many codes on conscious ascension, choosing love, choosing compassion, choosing forgiveness. All of these have been like anchored onto this planet through many different ascension paths and civilizations, sharing and passing on the teachings of coming into this unified loving field of consciousness. Yet when you explore, there isn't as much being shared around our physical ascension, because this hasn't been the primary, function of ascension in other configurations of space. And that doesn't mean that there haven't been, physical body transformations, yet these are libraries that are wanting to stream through now. And we want to share a little bit about this with you today. And we're going to run a whole episode on physical ascension for you, for anyone that's like geeking out on what I'm about to share. Yet ultimately, what you want to get is this. Your physical vessel, mine, everyone's, is a co-creation with your ancestors. And what that means is, just like the Shimbalans carried codes from one generation to the next, they could, each generation got to take a gift and then have that gift embodied. We do the same, yet we've been taking from our ancestors the codes and the templates of slavery, of fear, of scarcity, of survival. Many of us have been missioned to come into these avatars and consciously and unconsciously add codes of abundance and light and love into our ancestry stream to create upgrades and alternate realities. Because every time we upgrade something, we actually create an alternate version of it. It's not that we delete something. It's not accurate to say that we are killing or deleting things. You know, when people say things like, oh, I'm going through many, many deaths, technically, you know, the word death kind of suggests that something doesn't exist anymore. Yet in the quantum now, everything exists. And what that means is that when we upgrade our ancestral frequency, it's not the original ancestry that gets upgraded, it's an alternate version of the ancestral frequency that gets formed, and then we're tapped into that alternate reality. This is how everything exists at the same time, and yet at the same time, there are all these different points, infinite points that we can be connected to. Now, our physical ascension is having us eventually come to a place where we are no longer co-creating or connected to our ancestors. And let me explain what I mean. This isn't a rejection of the ancestors. This is a 100% thank you, mother, father, and everybody, grandmother, grandfather, great, going back. I thank you for everything. And at the same time, I've completed my work on upgrading the ancestral frequency to a point where we can now come into sovereign frequency. And now we create an alternate pathway of existence where my avatar is no longer plugged into the network. And that means I'm not co-creating with all my ancestors in this configuration anymore. So all of their crap exists with me. And what I mean by crap is stuff like fear-based programming, that as long as we're interconnected, we're not sovereign in this way. And there comes a time where we, with love, the cords of attachment to our ancestry falls away and we become more and more sovereign. And then more of our soul frequency resides. We connect more then, and this is what's happening simultaneously. We reconnect more and more to alternate versions of ourselves in advanced civilizations on this planet, other planets, and our soul consciousness comes online. Soul consciousness is every lifetime, you know, your soul is having at the same time. And by the way, every is a big piece to take. The truth is that we are calling back so much, and it's still a small fraction of what our soul is experiencing at the same time. It's an infinite consciousness having infinite lifetimes at the same time. And so we're also asked with our ascension to have greater clarity and precision with how we connect, where we connect, what versions of ourselves we connect to. We can connect to higher realm versions of ourselves all over the multiverse, or we can connect to lower realm versions of ourselves all over the multiverse. As we ascend, we can unplug from co-creating with alternate versions of ourselves who are burnt at the stake or having a bad experience there or there. As we raise our frequency, we get to plug in and connect with the highest expression of ourselves and truly become a soul consciousness in one avatar. And this is exciting. Yet at the same time, what this means though, for a lot of people right now, you're feeling quite a lot of purging, happening physically, fatigue, inflammation, all sorts of stuff can be happening. Like I said, we're going to go deeper in another episode on this because we've got a lot to share around physical ascension. Yet please get the renovation. That there is such a deep renovation happening. Everything changes. It's a new consciousness system, new templates, new operating system, new cellular structure. Also, as our organs change, everything shifts. We are becoming more energetic than carbon-based. And this is important to get to, which means that the way that we co-create with foods alters in many, many different ways as well. And from this place, we want to share with you a couple of tips to support this big renovation. One, as your organs are purging densities, some of those densities are literally from your ancestors. And part of the assignment or contract was to clear them in order for the avatar to become sovereign, as I'm talking about. And as you're emotionally purging, this is also thought to like codes, emotional codes and templates that have carried over from other avatar versions, which as we clear them, we are entering a more sovereign field for ourselves. And of course, all of this is also your own. And what I mean by this is this version of you plus all the alternate versions of you that exist as this configuration, and then other lifetimes that you're currently connected to. So when we look at emotional purging, what's actually happening is, think of it like you are packing up a whole bunch of stuff in the house that you no longer want. You've teared down some walls and now you've collected all the rubble and you've got to take it out of the house and take it away because it needs to be cleared. It's no longer going to be a part of the new house that you're, going to live in, which is you. And so as these emotions are leaving the field, one of my greatest tips, or your physical body is like going through stuff. You're tired, you got a pimple, you're inflamed, you're not looking as good as you did yesterday. When we physically purge, usually in physical purging, we don't look as good as we do when we're not physically purging.
That's right.
That's right. And mentally, thought patterns, literal thought patterns can be purging. And so my first tip is learn to be the observer of your own purge. Allow yourself to sit as the perspective of love, seeing the bricks leave the building. Allow yourself, if you're feeling thoughts like out of the blue, by the way, purging is something that we experience without stimulus. So what I mean by this is you're walking along and you're in the forest having a great little walk, and then all of a sudden, you have this wave of anxiety. There's no reason for it. This is purging. It's like, what's actually happening is another version of you is carrying a box of anxiety out of your house. Because it's been taken out of the walls as they got demolished, and smashed down. And if you're able to be like, okay, and just breathe, hold it with love and be like, thank you, goodbye. I send you love on your path. Wherever you may go, this fractal of frequency is off on it's leaving the field. It's a completion. And you just get to witness it and be like, okay, thank you to all versions of self. As a mental thought configuration comes in, and once again, purging happens often without any trigger. So nothing's happening and you might get triggered into scarcity. Your mind might start worrying, over worrying about things. And it's allowing yourself, especially in big, massive ascension, like gateways like we're in right now, to be like, oh, okay, I'm now releasing scarcity. I'm releasing another layer of scarcity and survival, wherever it might be coming from. Goodbye. I wish you all the best. Magdiana. Physically, if there is tummy upsets, bloating, like a lot of people have been sharing with me inflammation inside of these last few weeks in December. Please remember, especially if you're watching this right now, that November, December, and January are the gateway that we're in. We're technically halfway through right now. And yet if you actually reflect, if you're watching or listening to this in December, have a look and feel into how far you've already energetically come since October. Feel into your October self. Feel and scan your frequency and notice how much has shifted, and know that there are even more gifts to unlock, because guess what happens every time you allow, another box of anxiety or scarcity or whatever to pass your field with love? A gift emerges. As soon as that box leaves, then the new wall gets to be finished and the new structure in your architecture exists and it's grounded and you're a new you. And physically, as we purge emotions and technology from our field, please know that we're purging, not like we're purging technology from our mental field, our emotional field, and our physical field. And what I mean by technology is literal quantum technology, that operating system type technology. And some of the technology that we're purging is in no way, shape, or form harmonic to freedom and abundance and joy. It is there to experience duality. It was there to experience contrast. It was there to go into the depth of lower emotions for adventure or for mastery. And so as this leaves the field, you could feel some stuff, and it is the discernment. So this is one of my tips, is to really allow yourself to witness your purge with love, to say thank you, to acknowledge. And for some of you, you might want to ask your pendulum, like, when something's going on, it's like, do I need to change my diet, or is this a purge? It's a purge. What does my body need? And to start to discern and be clear on what is really in my reality and what's a purge. Because I notice people they go into their purge, and it's like, what happens when you go into your purge? It's like the version of you that's taking out the box. It's like you jump into the box and then you're in the box for a bit, and eventually you'll come out of the box, yet you never needed to jump in it in the first place. That's the difference between having a graceful ascension or, like doing silly things. And then finally, I really want to share that make time for ascension. So many people complain that they're getting smashed with upgrades or smashed with purging. And yet at the end of the day, what if instead you were to designate some space, a couple of hours, an hour or two, especially in these high frequency fields, to put some beautiful meditation music on, to lie down in nature or in your bed and ask your soul star family to help your ascension. If you do this, honestly, it's so simple. It's just lying down and saying, beautiful soul star family, my beautiful guides, please come and help me ascend. And guess what happens? You lie down for an hour or two in nature in your bed, and your soul family, upon your request, starts to carry the boxes out with you. And they're helping the process move faster because you've asked. They're just waiting for you to ask. Beautiful ones. We have so much support around us, yet often we're not receiving it. We're not co-creating with that support. Our soul star families are not to interfere with our invitation unless there are very specific contracts, and specific initiations that we're to receive at very specific times. Yet, not enough of us ask, please support me with this purge, please support me. And to make the space to lie down, to put some beautiful, create a sacred ceremony space, and just to receive and receive and receive. And then before you know it, the renovation goes and goes and goes. Polinka, what are some of your tips?
Thank you, Gaby. It was so beautiful. Before I move and share the tips that I would love to share with you and invite you to implement, as it is something that truly supports you. By you, I mean human version of you. Please know that we are alive through and through. There are no parts of us that are destined or even capable of dying. Everything is always eternal. And even now, as I'm speaking to you, I'm sharing and broadcasting codes of awareness. Please know, as you already know, you exist in all dimensions, in all realities, throughout galaxies at the same time. Yet there is a one intelligence that is in charge of all this beautiful orchestra of all different versions of you. There are many different types of names that we can call it and refer. The simplest way is to name it the master self, the master you, the highest self, the oversoul. Let's just stick to master self. Because when we are moving through different types of portals, we are receiving upgrades into the master cell of our being. And the master cell of our being is distributing this electric light through photons and electrons into every single version of you across time and space. So, of course, different versions of you are experiencing very different things, regardless of how it may be feeling and felt by you. The multidimensional, the universal way to integrate it and support yourself whenever you are, whatever you are, is by being present and really practicing non-attachment to the past moment. Because we only notice the differences. Oh, I felt great an hour ago or a day ago, and today I don't, because we attach to the sensation that we experienced an hour ago or 2 hours ago or 5 years ago. This comparison is, in the core of it, is judgment. And the judgment is the essence that creates and activates the entire field of discomfort. Why is it there? Because we have our physical avatars coded with so many different holograms, with so many different blueprints of co-creation with different star nations, different races, different beings, basically different representatives of consciousness, universal consciousness, higher realms, middle realms, lower realms, all of it is one. And all of those codes, all of those types of consciousness and aspects of us are eternal. Same way as our ancestral lineages, they are eternal. And when we say that you can unplug and stop co-creating, yes, with scarcity. The eternal connection remains there. An eternal connection is based on love and based on purity. And this is what these types and transitioning through portals invite us to tap into. Please know, it's actually fascinating. I personally find it fascinating. This vessel, human avatar, is a prototype of entire galaxy. When we move through the portal of 1111, 1212, whatever it is, right? There's always portals, they're infinite. We are actually moving through through another portal of our own heart. We travel through the portal of the heart and go into a deeper layer of our consciousness that is integrating this upgrade. And that is the level of our consciousness, of our heart, that is receiving those codes of light. And of course, it's so logical, right, that we are to integrate it. And different parts of us have to readjust. They have to become more calibrated. They have to get to know this new frequency that we are embodying. And ascension and enlightenment in this current configuration that we have here as humans, it does not mean transcending physicality. It's actually meaning fusing physicality with our soul light, with our essence through the portal of our heart. This is why during these experiences and these processes, when we are integrating, when we are receiving upgrades, it's very important to know that mind is downloading structure from our heart consciousness. And we have to train our mind to do so at the beginning manually, because our mind is plugged into universal time matrix of collective consciousness within different realms and dimensions. So it's like it's just streaming all sorts of frequencies at the same time. Brainwashing, basically, from all sorts of dimensions. And we are stepping into our spiritual maturity. All these upgrades of our system, basically, they are activating our sovereign consciousness that is mature because it has codes of maturity of entire universe. And it is perfectly capable of being in charge of this fully. So how do we step into spiritual maturity? Because we're receiving codes of activation, and if we do not apply, we just go on this roller coaster of what am I experiencing? Why is this happening? Why do I have pimple? Why is my hair looking like this? Why I don't feel like eating? Why I'm getting like gaining weight? Whatever it is, why you are purging, right? What we say, it's a process. It's not a purging. It's a process of witnessing something shifting within yourself. And the reason why it feels uncomfortable, because we compare it to the comfort that we got so accustomed to. Yet we are comfortable everywhere, always, in every moment, because we are eternal and we experience life within the zero reference point. All right, I'm drifting into a whole different cosmology now.
It's
Please
quite
know that supporting ourselves by being present with what we are experiencing is the first key code that gets activated daily. In every single moment we are receiving activations. These types of portals, they are representing multitude of these activations that we have to receive very rapidly, very fast. So hold yourself in love and truly understand that you're fine. You're not losing your mind. You're not losing anything, because connection is eternal. Your relation to a moment, your relation to self, your moment to previous versions of you is ascending. And the only way to merge with light is through love. Love is light in motion. That's it. So this is why love and light blessings to you, dear ones. It's all one. It's just motion. It is a combination of photons and electrons from God source consciousness that are descending into our physical body, into our consciousness. And we have to really understand, what do we do with that? We have free will and we can create any source of experiences. And my suggestion is to use your free will to direct your human awareness back to your heart consciousness and to download a whole new matrix of your mind from organic version of you that is sovereign. How do we get to that sovereign organic version of ourselves? By listening to our own needs. And this is the tip that I want to share. It took me a while to get to this one, but it was worth it. Just like, yay, you're doing great. What is organic within us? It is residing within our system. And if we want to ascend gracefully and to truly be present, to be masters of our own intelligence, emotional intelligence, we have to tune into the essence of life within. And the essence of life is very honest and is very direct. It's not bypassing anything within us. It's speaking right to us. It makes us feel. This is why when we feel something, we feel that we don't have any room to hide from it, because it feels so real. Yet through those experiences, our higher self saying, look what you've been carrying within yourself. Look at it. Do you still want it? No. All right. And this is how we do it. Two choices. One, saying, oh, I don't like it, go away, nasty little feeling, disappear. Or seeing it as it is, saying, all right, it's a feeling, it's a frequency, it actually is neutral, yet my communication with that was configured in this specific way. I don't see it as a bad feeling or a bad experience any longer. I restore neutrality of it. And therefore, it is free to return back to the void of creation. Come back to me as a blessing. I am changing my relation to you. And you come back, this beautiful frequency, to me as something incredible. And this is how we rewire our perception of purging, by being present to the neutrality of it. Yes, I understand it sounds challenging because life is life and we have all sorts of experiences going on. Yet we can do that. In the core of it, all is neutral. That's the truth. In the ultimate field, all is neutral. When we are anchored in the 3D density, 4D density, yeah, it feels different from what it is in the zero reference point, but we can make it.
It feels less neutral.
It is less neutral, I think. Exactly. Organic blueprint within us is the divine intelligence of our soul. How to connect to it, the very, very first steps is to tuning into your body and feeling, what does it need now? What does it feel? Does it feel tired? Yes, if it feels tired, we have two options to perceive it. Oh, I'm tired. It's okay. I can suppress it and I can go another mile, you know. Or, all right, my entire system is saying, I'm tired. Why do I feel this way? Oh, probably I'm integrating something. And I would rather be present with this integration because truthfully, it will take me much further than suppressing it. Because if we do suppress something organic within ourselves, we just create another cycle of co-creation and disharmonious friendship with it. It will be changing when we still decide to change that, but we have opportunity to change every single moment. We don't have to wait for another decade for this code to travel, take us on a roller coaster, and then take us back to the moment where we have choice. So always tune into your organic system, tune into your own needs, feel what you want to eat. Skip all of those dogmas and paradigms that, oh, I shouldn't be eating carbs because carbs are bad for me, or I should have more protein today because I haven't eaten enough protein yesterday. Feel yourself. You are the one who is a very intelligent being. And intelligence is not mental intelligence, it's inbuilt programming within you to be able to differentiate, determine, and perceive what is healthy for you, what emotion is healthy for you, what feeling is healthy for you, what environment and how to spend your time is healthy for you. Of course, schedule time for ascension. Make space in your room, in your room, make space in your time and in your room to tune into yourself and stop being a busy bee, at least for a couple of hours, moments in daytime, and tune into your organic self. It is there. And once we do so a couple of times a week, it will become instantaneously and automatic. We wouldn't need to do it manually all the time. What really supports us, because life and organic blueprint of life is within us and around us everywhere. So if you are having challenges navigating your system towards understanding what is actually your true voice, or what are your own desires in this moment, connect to something that is permanent, to something that is real, and to something that is very authentic. Nature. Feel the wind. Just feel it. Listen to it. Feel it on your skin. Inhale it. Feel it in your lungs. Feel how you are exhaling what is no longer serving you. And you do it every single moment. You inhale, exhale. You don't even need to control it. It's automatic. It is organic blueprint of life is encoded into your being, and it is alive. Connect to it. Realign your awareness with something that's natural. Watch the sunlight changing during different times of daytime, like during different hours of day. Connect to different shades of green color on leaves. Notice how different leaves have different trees have different leaves and pine needles. Not watch something that is breathing with life, regardless how you perceive it, whether you like trees or you don't like trees, they are there. They are keeping you
don't
alive.
like trees. Trees are awesome.
I know, but I'm sure there are people who don't
How
like
can anyone not like trees?
like cats or dogs, you know.
Are you a tree person? Are you more of a rock person?
I'm a road person.
Oh, that's
Funny,
funny.
true. Because nature is sharing organic blueprint of life with us, always. We can't stop it. It is the essence of life, the same essence of life within ourselves. So if you are needing to a little bit of assistance to realign yourself with what your true nature is speaking to you, watch sunset, take a walk, focus on your breathing, and hydrate your system. Hydrate your system with love, with positive thoughts, with beautiful experiences that make you feel great, with connections to people who you love and who love you, because it is the organic communication, pathway of communication. The way I love Gaby so much, and I'm looking at her, and she's so beautiful, and I want to hug her. This is organic. It is hydrating my system because I feel so much love for her. And she's receiving those codes like photosynthesis.
So much love for you.
She is receiving that too. It is the harmonious exchange. Spend time with your children. Take your beautiful pets for a walk. Cuddle them and then just kiss them because they're so incredible. This is what brings us back to our own organic essence. And of course, beautiful ones, drink plenty of water, ridiculous amounts of water, because we are made of water. Our consciousness is made of water. Entire universe is made of water. Photons, electrons, waves of frequency, codes are made of liquid, crystalline, divine source consciousness that is represented on this physical plane of existence through molecular structure of water. So the more we drink water, yes, our physical body receives and integrates upgrades straight away. But at the same time, the easier this transition of your consciousness into a higher octave would be. So the more water we drink, the more effortlessly we move from one level of awareness to another, the more we are focused on life itself and the liquid motion, the effortless motion, the flow of life. And this is how we are helping ourselves to be detached from the previous moment. Oh, an hour ago, my hair looked fluffier. Now it's not, you know? So if I'm drinking water, if I'm tuning into the liquid consciousness of my own being, the fluidity of it, I wouldn't be even bothered how my hair looked a moment ago because I'm present in this now. My consciousness is lubricated. And please remember that everything that we see in our physical plane is an expression of infinite, eternal quantum realms. So drink water, spend time in nature, practice self-love, and know that you are well. Your experience is unique. You are merging with your light. You are moving into the radiance of your infinite soul light. That is definitely worth deprogramming all templates of your body, deprogramming templates of your mind, and so on, and allowing all pathways of communication, all energetic cords to ascend. We never wish to break anything, dismiss anything. We send it love, and we allow this frequency of love and light to raise and ascend, elevate all connections, all interconnectedness and pathways of communication with the rest of creation into higher frequency of light, into more refined density of love, purity itself. We are always connected to our ancestors through love, not through fear.
Yes, I love this. I love this. And I also wanted to anchor deeper that, as I mentioned, there is this shift happening as we let go of the ancestors. Please understand that what I refer to is letting go to the aspects of fear, of scarcity, of survival. It's not that we're letting go of our ancestors in the rigid way of viewing it, where it's not it's not a sever. It's that we stop co-creating with certain aspects and return ourselves, we become sovereign in those aspects. So thank you for dropping that in for extra precision and clarity. And beautiful souls, as you listen to this, as you watch this on YouTube, wherever you're enjoying this, I want to also really anchor and express that, the most delicious timelines of ascension are where we're supported. So step one, follow my tip. Create space to be supported by your soul family. Ask for support. Make space, lay down, receive the support. And, often you'll find you'll just fall asleep for a couple of hours, and in that couple of hours you are receiving beautiful support. And then secondly, to extend an invitation to come and co-create with myself or Polina or both of us in some way, shape or form. We've created several different programs and different opportunities to work with us. And the reason for that is because we are missioned to support people, to support human consciousness in its ascension. And that means to support you with your renovation. We've got so many different codes. We've got giant, beautiful galactic teams, earth teams that we co-create with, so we can come in and really get that beautiful, it's like having a whole team come in and help you renovate, and that one over there is doing that room, and that one over there is doing downstairs, and that one's doing outside, and we help you. We take out the boxes, we share technologies, we share beautiful upgrades with you that allow all of this to be so much more graceful, so much more loving, and have you receive the gifts of it all in faster timelines. For myself, I can go deeper with you on the fact that I work beautifully with my team, coding, sharing, upgrades, new templates, new operation set templates for your consciousness, mental, emotional, physical, interconnecting you with your multidimensionality, showing you how to be a conscious, masterful, multidimensional being. And part of coming into work with me is receiving decoding, like receiving the decoding of the slave matrix, unplugging out of that, blood resets, completing certain contracts that are third and fourth density contracts, and then opening up and activating and initiating your fifth, sixth, seventh, beautiful libraries. And if you know that you would like to be supported, you'd like a bigger team, if you know that this feels really wonderful to you, Quantum Magic School is such an amazing program, and it starts in over a month. It has you certify as a quantum practitioner. You get to learn how to co-create with sound technology and color technology, and oh my gosh, we sound like activating several different light languages, working in the quantum on grids, on portals, literally creating programs, software, learning how to program that into yourself and others, being able to work on yourself, calling in a much greater team, connecting more to your soul star family, and then having them work on you and others in return, initiating greater parts of your mission, so much more. Actually, Quantum Magic School is a fun co-creation because Polina runs a couple of classes. She is the channeling professor at Quantum Magic School. We both are, yet we're both channeling professors. There's inside of that configuration. And there's also other ways. So you can go to my website, you can book a course consultation and have a chat and explore, and we can go deeply into your needs and see which offer, which journey could be in high resonance. And Polina's just launched an incredible program called Soul Code. Tell them about it.
Soul Code is an Ascension school.
Yeah,
and,
it is.
I am a trans channel for multiple galactic federations of light, and I support in my journey, it is part of my mission to support beautiful souls to restore their organic blueprint of life within their own soul matrix. And I am assisting my beautiful clients and all souls who are feeling resonant with the frequency that I'm broadcasting and with the frequency that councils of light are broadcasting through me, to deprogram deeply templates of your eternal consciousness. This is where I have a program called Body Avatar Sanctifying and Deep Cleansing of the Body Avatar, because our body avatar is representing infinity of our consciousness, eternal consciousness. And within that particular program, we are removing multiple matrices and anti-life software that was installed into the collective field of humanity by negative and lower spirits. So removing, deeply sanctifying, baptizing with the radiant light of divine source consciousness, everything that is ever and was ever based on scarcity deeply. That is one of the programs that I do, and the Soul Code is the most incredible, beautiful, exciting offering that I'm right now so happy to share with you. It is an Ascension school, and taking this journey with this beautiful program and infinite, unbelievably beautiful beings of light, beautiful souls who are receiving this template of co-creation with organic living light code, they would be discovering their own channeling abilities, reconnecting to multitude of versions of themselves, being mentored by spirit animals, the ascended spirit animals, ascended masters, dragons, and also taking journey into infinite, beautiful, ancient civilizations within Earth, within Gaia. And by doing so, recalibrating entirely system to be fully resonant, to be fully responding to the organic living light code within. So Soul Code Ascension School is designed and specifically coded to restore sovereign organic blueprint within each individual being, activating pathways of communication with divine source intelligence within you and your free will. So your creative energy can be expressed in any shape or form that is in resonance with your infinite intelligence, speaking to you through heart consciousness. And beautiful ones, please know that working with me always involves trance channelings, because as a trance channel, it is part of my divine blueprint to be sharing direct messages from high realms of existence and representatives of unified field. We do have many beautiful offerings that can support you and your individual journey. So please, we are inviting you to go to Gaby's website, to my website, tune into what feels right for you, what feels resonant. Listen to your calling of your heart, and please follow the guidance of your heart. And know that in your field, there will always be people who would be able to assist you on your journey when you are ready. And if in one of those timelines it is me or Gaby, we would be so happy to support you and exchange love with you, because it is a co-creation. In the core of it, in the deep essence of it, it is the exchange of love. It is the exchange of infinite divine source consciousness that feels incredible for all of us. An entire universe, entire field of humanity benefits from it.
Love it. Yay. Giving you lots of big hugs, honoring you in your ascension journey as we all take steps forward together as a collective into the next plane of loving existence. Much love. See you next time. Mwah.
Ah.
Ciao, ciao.